everyone. Happy Music Monday. We're here with Cindy Goldberg from the Beatkeepers Women with Rhythm organization documentary. There's a lot going on there. How are you doing? You're tuning in from Canada, right?
I am. I'm in Ottawa, Canada. Nice to see you.
Cool. Nice to see you too. How's it going over there?
Oh, it's good. It's good. We're warming up finally. It's starting to get really nice and green outside. So hopefully soon we'll all be getting out there with live music.
Yep.
Awesome.
Nice.
You guys looking to set up some outdoor shows?
Yes, we hope so. I mean, with COVID and everything, things are a little slow here, but you know, beauty is you can get outside and keep your distance. And summer times in Canada are great. They're beautiful up here with lots of music festivals, usually starting in May right through October. Lots going on.
Awesome. So tell us about yourself. You are involved with some jazz music. You're doing you have the Women with Rhythm Beatkeepers. We want to hear about that. Just kind of give us a little overall synopsis of yourself.
Sure, Mel. Okay.
That's the right word.
30 seconds or less. No. Okay, so I'm Cindy, and I'm from, as you know, Canada. So longtime musician, clarinet, piano, some vocals, and took to drumming about almost 6 years ago. Initially on a lark, but then I fell in love with it really quickly and started studying drumming, and soon learned that there were very few female drummers, at least in my community. I was used to at least 50 to 70% female musicians in the bands I was in. So this was new. I said, I want to find out why. Why are there so few women, and what's it like being a female drummer? Is it any different? So I created a first documentary called Keeping the Beat in 2017 and featured local female drummers, hearing their stories about why they got into drumming, what they love about it, and any challenges. And then people said, you know, Cindy, you should create a full-length feature documentary on female drummers. So in 2018 and 2019, I directed and produced a full-length documentary on drummers from around North America. And I also included some famous male drummers such as Todd Zuckerman, Jason Gianni, Walfredo Reyes Jr., and it was great. I got to go to Nashville to premiere the movie, also Los Angeles and a few other cities. And since then, what I've done is I've launched a YouTube channel and a Facebook page, and I create ongoing profiles of female musicians from around the world. They could be percussionists or drummers or any other type of musical person. So that's been great. And I mean, the lockdown, I know is very difficult in many ways, but that gave me more of an opportunity to really focus on profiling and showcasing musicians.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I've been peeking at some of those YouTube videos. And where can everyone find the actual full length documentary?
There's actually a high octane version of it, a 12-minute version. The full length was on Vimeo and Amazon if you have Amazon subscription.
All right.
Cool.
Awesome. So for everyone watching, welcome, and thank you for joining us in the chat. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel, and Andy's putting the link below right there.
Is that also the YouTube channel name there?
Yes, it's the same. So I will always post videos in both locations.
Awesome. So everyone check out the YouTube and Facebook page. That's awesome. Super cool. How were the premieres? And you actually got it in right in time, right before everything kind of shut down. So how were those premieres? Oh,
that was great. So many of the female drummers who were in the movie came out to the one in Nashville. That was a big one. The Nashville Women in Music Society hosted us. So that was terrific. And Dan Schinder from, Drum Talk TV came to host. And it was a great night with some food and laughter and Q&A sessions. And a couple of months later, we were hosted again in Los Angeles by Michael Barrismanto and his studios out there. And then later on, another women's drumming group in Philadelphia hosted us a few months later. So we've had a few around there. I was going to continue on the circuit, but then everything happened, unfortunately, last year, and I had to slow things down in that sense.
So are you hoping to continue that circuit once things open back up?
I think that it's pretty well known now. Like the movie has circulated a lot online. So I decided, you know what, it's kind of started something, and I wanted to get involved with women from more areas of the world. So I've Cuba, Europe, Asia, Singapore. I've been featuring women from far and wide. So I'm going to continue to do that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful, and also it sort of ties in with what Drummer Girls United does. Tammy and I work together on some of these initiatives.
Awesome.
Nice.
And you've also been studying with a lot of people. I know I did one of your master classes that you were helping out with, and you had studied at the Drummers Collective. Is that correct?
Yes, I studied there just over a year ago. I did the 3-week intensive program, which is phenomenal. I mean, there's a huge amount of information. They're trying to cram in a year's worth of study into a few weeks, but it's amazing. And I went down, and that's when I met who you got to see in the clinic, my husband, Rafael de los Reyes. And he's a phenomenal drummer, and we connected instantly, and he fell in love. Yeah, and he got up here just in time, just as the pandemic was hitting the United States worse than Canada. He had to cut a tour short, unfortunately, but he came up here last March, and yeah, we've been doing lots of music and studies together since then. He's actually started working. Yeah, there's a lot. And he works where I work now at the School of Rock.
Oh, cool.
So he's a drum teacher there. So we get to go in, well, for now we're working from home, but yeah, it's nice to share that.
So it's interesting with the School of Rock, are you finding a lot more female drummers in the younger generation coming up? Or are you finding it still rare?
No, there definitely are more, and several of them were featured in the movie. Several of the young ladies there, but I'd say anywhere from 20 to 40% of the drummers have been female coming through the School of Rock. So that's great to see. Yeah. I think it is different. And I should qualify that my mom was a drummer. So back in the 80s, my mom in her 50s took up drumming and became quite a accomplished jazz drummer. But there were no other female drummers that I knew of in Ottawa, in my city at that time. So it's pretty cool to have her as a role model.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've noticed that, I always thought it was so rare to be a female drummer. And same thing, growing up, I took drums in school, and I was the only female or one of the only two, or, in band classes or orchestra classes. And then college, same thing. But then all of a sudden with the internet and YouTube and everything, all of a sudden I'm finding videos of all these, here's grandma playing the drums, and it's like she's been playing for 80 years. I'm like, where have you been? But now all of a sudden, because of YouTube, we're seeing more things and seeing people from around the world, not just in your own community or even your own state or country. So it's really cool to see that open up a bit more.
Yes, and Hit Like a Girl, I think, really helps that too, showcasing all these women and all levels. And as young as 5 or 6 years old, they're competing in that contest. So it's great. They're starting right off.
Yeah. So what's been the general attitude, I guess you could say, towards the documentary, and what's the feedback you've been getting? How's that been going?
It's been positive. Honestly, it really was. And I think because largely the audience are drummers, musicians, female drummers. So, for the layperson, when I brought it to show to, let's say, friends and family who weren't involved in music, saw for the first time, they said, I didn't really know. It didn't occur to me that women might be perceived differently or undergo some of the challenges that were described in the film. So they said it was a bit of an eye opener, and they kind of oh. But there was other musicians who saw it that were, let's say, singers or guitar players, and said, I've gone through the same thing. Female musicians, especially, in the rock world, not always taken as seriously. When they get to the gig, they're thought of as the girlfriend. You got a ticket to get in, or, what do you do? Why are you carrying that gear? Get your boyfriend to do it.
You get that all the time.
Almost every show. Yeah.
Where are your boyfriends to carry this?
We've actually had trouble getting into our own shows because the bouncer thought that we were just trying to get in for free, that we weren't in the band. We were with the band.
Yes. And girlfriend's got to pay.
Yeah. We're like, well, if you don't want the band here, you'll have no show tonight. That's fine.
That's just so...
Yeah, my favorite one was when they thought we were dancers. Not musicians.
I haven't heard that one yet, but I know, and it's one lady was saying that she would go to her gigs and all the band would get drink tickets too. And she'd go to the bar and they're like, no, the groupie or the girlfriend doesn't get. She goes, well, I'm a drummer, so could I please have my tickets?
We had that same exact thing where like they literally would not give us drink tickets. So we're like, all right, cool. And then we were up next and then went on stage. We're like, hey, remember us? We weren't allowed drink tickets. You know?
Really? Oh my goodness.
And then after they were like, sorry.
They get it, or they hear you play, they're like,
yeah, they're like,
or they get the comments. A lot of the women said, you play well for a girl. You know, you're as good as a guy, sort of thing, rather than you're just a good musician.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of want to play just like with paper bags over us, or like in astronaut suits or something where no one can see, you know, who or what we are. Until after we play, and then we get off stage and just like take it off.
That would be safe for now. We could just play in hazmat suits.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, we'll be safe as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna know. I know. Yeah, because with your eyes closed, like Jared had said that from Drumeo, he was in the movie. He said you're not gonna know the difference. That's the thing. That's the mentality we should all have. And he's great because he's been trying to get more female drum instructors into Drumeo. He really makes an effort.
NAM, right?
Yes, we did.
NAM. Yeah.
Yep.
At NAM, yeah. He always comes.
The last NAM. The NAM of 2020.
No, I miss that. That was great last year. So I was at NAM and I got to interview a lot of drum producers, people in the drum world, drum professionals. It was awesome. I miss it.
So have you noticed a big difference in gigging between, you know, the perception that you get when you're playing another instrument compared to when you're playing drums?
Oh yeah, well, mostly people are like, oh, that's cool when you're playing a female drummer. But I mean, you know, I'm not a big touring musician, so I haven't had really big gigs. But local gigs, I've had comments like, oh no, there's a chick on stage now, we're in trouble, or they're kind of guffawing. But yeah, it's not stuff you want to hear. I've had guys come on stage and actually try to adjust my drums for me, thinking that I may have had the hi-hat too high or my snare wasn't right, you know. And I said, well, even in the middle of a song, that happened one time. A guy comes up, I'm like, oh, I don't think you do that for a guy drummer.
I think I would have just thrown the drumsticks right at them. All the extras too. I just would have been grabbing a check.
You're like, I know, they
go away.
Don't touch my drum set. Don't touch my drum set.
No. They think they're helping, but it's a little bit,
I've only had that. I feel like when a long time ago when you said, just remind me, I think someone did go up to my amp once to go and like change my settings, and I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
or tune your kit. Yeah.
An instrument is like a body.
No,
you
it's
do
a
not
baby.
touch
No
without
touch.
permission.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Exactly.
It's a baby too. Don't touch my baby.
Don't touch my baby.
Or when people just put drinks on your amp, I'm like, no.
Really? Oh, that's too much. Has it changed for you guys at all, though? Like over, I don't know how long you've been together and touring, but do you see any attitudes
I mean, the
shifting?
dancer thing was like 2 years ago.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I think more, like, I feel like when we first started, there were certain places that we'll go to that people were like, literally never saw a band of all girls. They were literally shocked. And once in a while that still happens, but obviously I think by now they've at least seen, you know, it's a little more mainstream, but it's still like after they're just like so surprised that
Really? Yeah.
you could play instruments so well. You know, they were like, wow, we were excited to see you guys, but you were really good. Like, you were actually really good. And that still happens, you know.
The bar's higher. That's another thing the female drummers say. We have to prove ourselves. Are we equal to men when we get up on stage? Yeah. And then it's too bad. They kind of can't just feel to get up there and just play for the joy of playing, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it has changed for us, but not in the sense of times having changed that much, but the like the location, you know, because as we play bigger venues or we start touring, you know, to different states, I think the perceptions are different where we are and what kind of venue we're in. In other words, you know, if you're playing at a biker bar, they've seen certain things compared to if you're playing at a music hall and what they're used to seeing. So like maybe playing at a bigger music venue, they've seen more female musicians come in compared to the local towny bar where you're playing a cover gig or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's true too. And I mean, yeah. And I mean, I've played a lot of places where you get comments on your appearance, and they're small little kind of intimate dive bars, some of them, and they come up on stage and talking to you. And people said, well, Cindy, if that's happening, then stop playing at those places. Well, that's kind of my level. I'm not, I'm not a 30-year touring musician, so it's not up to me to change. It's up to those guys to change, right? Yeah.
And why should you stop playing? Why not go back there and keep going to those places and open their minds and have them all go, oh, wow, girls can play music too.
Yeah, you can normalize it.
Yeah. The interesting thing I have noticed is that when I've worked and played in other countries, in Europe and the UK, it was very different. Very, very different. Annie, I'm not sure if we've actually never talked about this. I don't know if you found the same thing when you were in Spain and France, but I would walk into a venue and immediately, if I was the first one through the door, they assumed I was in charge. So whoever I went up to and said, hello, how are you? I'm Mel, nice to meet you. It was immediately them asking me questions, how many meters apart do you want the light bars, or where do you want this, or where do you want that? And I was like, oh, you have to ask so-and-so, or you have to ask this person. And they go, oh, I assumed you were in charge. Whereas over here, you walk through and they go, yeah, move out of the way. Where's the band?
Okay. Well, that's good, at least, right? We take a lesson from some of those countries and the attitudes there. Excellent. Yeah.
So, Annie, did you notice anything different between the country? You've been to South America. You've been to different countries in Europe. Did you notice it being any different comparatively?
I don't. It's usually,
Same thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing. I think even in working, you still have to prove yourself, when you're working in the industry. So I think that it can happen anywhere still, but maybe it's a little more accepting or whatever in Europe, but I don't know. But I think it happens. I still think it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
It's probably less now than the past, few years, things like that, but there's still work to be done.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping, because that's why I put beekeepers out there, and that's why I'm continuing with. So I didn't just want a few select people to see the movie or come to the premiere. Let's keep those videos out there. And when I create a video, I post it on every single drummer's YouTube or Facebook page I can find. So all these women are being showcased.
Awesome. Are there any specific, channels, things like that you like, is there a certain place you go to look for musicians and things, like female musicians? Like where do you start looking when you're trying to find, you said you're looking for females in Europe and Singapore, like where do you go to look?
I have well, actually I went to Drummer Girls United and I friended a lot of them, and through them, all the videos start to come up on your page. So a lot of the times it's just random, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like a woman doing the congas in Cuba I came across. I'm like, so I started out deliberately kind of contacting some of the women in my movie and asking who they recommend, but you sure come across a lot of videos pretty quickly. And then I got the idea I'd like to have a variety of different types of percussion, congos and cajon and bongos and all that. So I've got marimba. I did one on that.
Nice.
Yeah, I think like you could be making a video every couple of days. I could create a little short. It'd be nice.
You're searching like the hashtags on Instagram, but then all of a sudden your feed is then just all female drummers anyway. So you're like, cool, it's working for me.
I don't know. I got to quit my job and just do this full time.
Thanks, algorithms. For doing that for me.
Exactly.
It's watching. It knows everything we're Googling.
So you've been just teaching virtually is that all strictly that? Like, have you guys been back to the school at all, or has it been on and off? How's it going up there?
Right now it's remote. Canada's been hit pretty hard. I don't know if you're watching the news, and I'm in Ontario, so it's been hit harder than any other. I think it's one of the worst places in North America right now, if not in the world. So definitely we're going to be remote for a few more weeks. It's easier, I think, to teach some instruments than others remotely. Like drums is a little more difficult because, the size and the audio and whatnot. But instructors are great. They find ways of adapting. And they also teach the band programs, and they're able to do that with up to 10 or 12 participants. So it seems to be going really well. But I'm sure, that being said, folks are going to look forward to May or June getting back on site.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've noticed while teaching drums, with any other instrument, I can hear the audio pretty clearly. As soon as someone hits a drum and it's a little too loud, the audio just clips out.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I find myself just watching their sticking and watching their hands. And even if I can't hear it, I'm like, okay, I can see what you're doing. And
Yes.
so half the time we're just on practice pads or putting pads on the drums so that the sound will still go through.
Penny was talking to us. She gave us, I don't know if you came on that chat. You may have missed it, Mel, where she had one of the talks with Tammy. And she's talking about rock something. And it's an alternative to Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Where it'll deal with a lot of those audio issues. It was created especially for music instructors, especially drum teachers.
And what's that called?
It's Rock My World or Rock something. If you ask Penny Larson, she can tell you.
All right. Awesome.
So that's an alternative apparently. But yeah, she says it's still not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I've been taking cajon lessons actually for a few months with a lady in Chile. And that's okay because it's just the one.
Mm-hmm.
But a whole kit would be tricky.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's been fun. That's one thing.
I know it's like, even though this was kind of all available to us beforehand, it's like, would you have, taken a virtual lesson from someone in Chile? Have we not been sitting at home? There's like, certain things that you're like, you know what, I probably wouldn't have done this or like sought this out or.
No, I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have. Yeah, and I've been making a lot of virtual remote videos, music videos on clarinet, drums, and percussion. So with different people. And the one I have going now, and the lead singer is going to be in Mexico. So yeah, those kind of things I probably wouldn't have been doing either. I have been out and about in the city playing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about you guys? Have you been doing any remote projects?
Yeah, we've been dealing with this type of thing.
All our tangled wires.
Oh God!
My hair tangled in too many wires. Everything's been, dealing with new technologies and adapters and interfaces and stuff like that. So that's been, we did some at-home music videos with us like through Zoom, but with other cameras on us and stuff. So that's been a different creative process, which, we wouldn't have done.
I think Annie has bought every type of adapter from Amazon.
Really?
In the last few months.
Did you try Jam Kazam at all? That's another. I tried that with one of my bands, and because you plug that in with an audio interface and the app, and you can jam and live with anybody around the world. As long as you're.
I think I downloaded it, and then it wasn't. It's just audio, right?
No, it's video if you want it as well. I found a bit of lag.
Yeah.
That's the big one, I think now, Jam Kazam. Guitar player, my band uses it every day, he says, and it's great for him. But for me, there was a bit of lag, even though I use interface and mic the drums. I found it. Yeah,
I don't remember what it was called, but I tried some other program with another couple drummers, and we were trying to run some songs together, and we couldn't even figure it out. It was like, forget it, just go on FaceTime or Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Send each other the files.
Yeah, it was like, you send me a video of you playing, I'll send you me, we'll critique each other and see if we played it right. There we go. So have you come up with any other hobbies while you've been stuck at home? Have you started baking any bread or, painting or doing whatever other random gardening?
Painting. Yeah, painting again. And I got Raphael into painting. So we were doing a lot of paint nights. Nice. So yeah, I paint acrylics for fun. The one behind me, for example. That's
I was going to say.
That's mine, yeah. Yeah, so do that. I teach from home too, languages. So that's been fun. And
What languages?
Actually just English. I'm learning Spanish because I teach Spanish speaking adults and I teach children in China. So yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I don't mind being at home right now because, when the weather's warm, you want to get outside. But in the meantime, you can work on music, work on your hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice. That's cool.
Oh, and the other thing we have, I must have, we have adopted pet rats from a rat rescue. So this is our first time having pet rats. I always wanted to do that. I know you're like, what?
Nice. No, I know
we
some
have
people
about 20 in our lawn if you want.
Be right down, rescue those guys too. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot different when you have them as pets and they're sitting in a cage or you're playing with them compared to when you see it on the subway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. These are definitely timid little guys, docile.
Not
Pet
dirty
rats.
New York City subway rats.
No,
That are
no.
gonna like bite your face off.
Yeah, exactly. Raphael's from New York City, so he's like, we're getting what? Yeah,
But they're
rats.
cute. Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen kangaroo rats? They have really
Oh.
long tails and they have feet like kangaroos and they hop.
Really? Are they rats or are they? Okay, kangaroo rats. And look, they probably take our little guys out. Yeah. So we have 2 babies we adopted this week because the other one's solo rat. A rat passed away last week, sadly. So his brother was alone. We got these 2 little guys. It's a lot of work, but they're fun. You got to keep an eye on them, right? Because you don't want them to kill each other just now as they establish their territories.
Sounds like a vicious
Yeah.
No. Or just with each other. Are they
Yeah,
just like-
yeah. Just
I
each
just think
other, they
that-
establish dominance.
Yeah. That's the greatest thing. I mean, anyone who asks you, so what'd you do during quarantine? I played with rats.
Keep them amused.
It's a
And
good
they don't
icebreaker.
seem to mind. I don't think dogs would love all of them. And my clarinet playing too. I remember my last dog, when I was playing.
My dog just rolls his eyes at me every time my guitar's playing. He
Oh,
just
really?
like looks at me like, again.
Aw. What kind of dog do you have?
He's a French tin, a Frenchy Boston mix
Oh, yeah.
named Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, cute.
Yeah. I
He
could
doesn't
go
like
get-
when you play drums, though. He growls at you.
Oh no, he barks at me when I play the electric kit. Even if he can't hear it because I have headphones on, but he hates the like tapping and
Is it like that?
no,
Really?
he just like, sits and barks at me
Oh.
for like 2 minutes, and then he's like, "All right, I'm over this. She's not gonna stop." Then he goes sleeps. He's pretty lazy.
That's funny.
Mhm.
He definitely is the laziest dog I've ever seen.
I'll go. He's sleeping. I'll go disturb
Of
him.
course he is. So are you still playing clarinet, or have you
Yeah, and I recorded a video today, Stranger on the Shore, because a gentleman in South Africa, a great musician, reached out to me and we're going to collaborate. Oh, look at him.
Hi, Bruce.
Oh my gosh. Hey, look at the ears. So sweet.
Look what it
What,
is.
Bruce Wayne?
Yeah,
He's
his eyes-
adorable.
his eyes don't look straight, and he's pretty funny.
How old is he?
I think he's 4 now. They're old.
Oh, he's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he'd be a good guard dog too, even if he's because he's
Not
just-
at all.
No,
He's horrible.
but people would probably think he is, right?
I don't know. He's pretty silly looking because he's got goofy eyeballs and stuff. So he's not
Aw.
very intimidating. And he actually doesn't bark a lot, like really, like ever. So
Yeah, he looks
he's just
calm.
like, oh, who are these friends? So I'm like, if there's ever an intruder, he's just gonna be like, oh, hi, you want to play?
Just lick him, yeah.
Yeah,
I've never seen him bark at a person. I've only seen him bark at leaves.
yeah.
The leaves?
He's
Yeah.
afraid
Okay.
of leaves.
Okay. Not a
Yeah.
guard dog material, yeah.
No. He
That's
tried to
funny.
like catch a bird the other day, and he just like leaped out of nowhere, and just bird was gone. I'm like, you're not good at this, guy.
Yeah, my parents have a Jack Russell, which I used to, they adopted her kind of from me, and I'd love to bring her over, but I guess they were bred to kill what?
Rats.
Rats.
Bats, yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
think she'd get along with these little guys, yeah.
No.
And they could be very wild. I've like one of my aunts had one. It would just jump all the time. Like it was like very active.
Well, she's older, but yeah, when she was young, she was like that. She's 12 now, so she's probably even a little more crusty, you know.
I love those videos when you just see the dogs just jumping up and down at the front door.
Yeah.
Just nonstop.
She was so fast, you would throw a ball and she would be ahead of the ball. She would get there before the ball would.
Mhm.
Bruce doesn't like to give the ball back. He just
No.
sits there with it.
Oh no, there's no to play fetch. Okay.
He goes,
Never
he gets it, and he
used to get
sits
it.
down with it. He doesn't come back with it at all.
Well, she does that now too. So my mom has this thing. She has 2 balls. Try that, Annie.
Oh,
So throw
okay.
another one. Then he's like, "What?" He drops the one to get the other.
I will have to try that one.
My favorite is the shark ball that he has now.
Oh yeah, it's,
Ball. What's
yeah.
that?
It's really, it's too big for him to bite the ball, so he can only hold it by like the fins that it has. So he just like waddles it around.
But it's like as big as his head.
But he's trying to like eat the little nubs off. So he already ate one fin off. I'm like, if you keep eating these off, then now this ball's gonna be, useless because you can't get it in your mouth. So
That's funny.
he's very smart. Very smart.
Yes.
He's very.
Does he mind when you go away, Annie, when you're touring? Does he miss you?
He does. So since I've been home, he like follows me everywhere.
No.
Especially like the first like few months, really, that I was home. Like literally, like couch to the stove. He's just like, "Oh, where are you going now? What are you doing now? Like, what's happening?
So cute.
Where are you going now? What's going?" But now it's like I'll leave for like an hour. I'll come back. He's still like sitting on the couch. It's like, "Oh, you're home." Okay.
Don't leave.
Now he don't even get up when I come home now.
Oh. He's
like,
gonna
you're
freak
back.
out when you go on tour again.
I know.
Do you have that planned?
No.
No.
Okay, we're waiting to see. Have you come to Canada?
Mel's
We have
from there.
separately. Yeah,
Well, you're not
I have a
from
lot of.
there.
I'm not personally, but I have a lot of family in Toronto, actually, Ontario, all over.
I've
all
only
over
toured
Ontario.
Canada in the winter
Why?
with work. So I
Okay.
think I did like a 3-week tour across. I've been in Canada a bunch of times touring, but one time we did, winter Canadian tours is a
That'd be
thing
tough.
apparently.
Oh
So yeah,
my gosh. Oh,
fun,
cool.
though.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Canada.
Well, parts
It's
of
hard
Canada
to get
great.
into Canada, but once you're there, it's awesome. You know.
You mean the
See,
border?
Yeah.
Yeah.
West Coast of Canada too, right?
What?
You've been to the west side of Canada too, right?
Yeah, I think I've been pretty much all the major cities. So
I've only done east. I've been to Montreal and St. Catharines, and I did a couple years ago. I did a little vacation for like the northeast part, was it Prince Edward Islands, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia too, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah. I lived out in Halifax for 4 years. It's amazing out there.
Beautiful.
The music scene is great too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody's really into music.
Yeah.
oh, you know who? Oh, where are they? Oh, in Toronto. The Mandevilles. Do you know them?
No.
Okay, they're in I think they're in Toronto. But they're a really great band, female singer.
Oh yeah,
Check
I'll
them
have to look
out.
that up.
Yeah.
I'd love to check them out. Yeah, I'm not far from Toronto. Yeah, about 4 hours by car.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I do
Cool.
really like Vancouver.
Yes, and it's mild too. Yeah.
Yeah. I did
Expensive,
go to
but-
the only state I haven't been to in the U.S. is Alaska, and one time we were on tour in Canada. It was in the winter too. It was like the most like northern city of Canada, and then it was like maybe a 300-mile drive to be in Alaska. And I was like, should I do it? Like,
Really?
I didn't get a chance to do it, but I was like, we're really this close to Alaska.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You must have been
Yeah.
northern BC then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It was
Okay.
something. I'm definitely, this is wrong, but I want to say it was like St. Prince something or whatever.
Prince Rupert maybe. And like you were okay on the roads up there in the wintertime? Wow.
Some of the driving was a little rough. We were in a tour bus, so I didn't really I didn't do any driving, but there was a few times where there were some snowstorms that delayed some
Yeah, I can
driving
imagine.
things. Like it was,
Yeah, I know. I never get used to the winter driving here. People are like, oh, you must like winter. No, I don't like winter. I just don't. I don't do snow. I don't like ski or skate, and snowmobile. So I really hibernate.
I love snowboarding. I love ice skating, but it would be nice if it just didn't stick to the roads. If it was just on the mountains and just on the grass and the trees,
Stay
it looks
there.
pretty while it's falling, and then just don't stick to the roads. That would be perfect.
Yeah, because that's the slickiest. Yeah.
or my staircase, or the driveway, or my car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty at Christmas time. Yeah. In December, it is nice. Everything white and covered. Yeah. January could go away.
In February and March now. No.
Yeah.
It's like a couple months pretty all right going.
But we had snow last week, like crazy on the week. Well, 3 days ago, we had 10 centimeters. I don't know, you guys, it'll be like 4 inches of snow.
Mm-hmm.
That, even for Ottawa, Canada, it was a little unusual.
To have it
know.
this late, yeah.
Yeah, it snowed in like Indiana last week, and then it got like cold, really cold here like the other day, and I was like, oh no, we're gonna get it.
Weird
So
weather.
it's a nice snowfall in April for everyone to be like, no.
Yeah. No, I just changed my tires.
I remember seeing a video a while ago that they had 2 trucks going together. One was a plow with a giant spout shooting at the snow into a truck next to it that was like a giant just dump truck. And it was just piling the snow into the other truck.
Seen that. I've seen that when the snow gets so bad. Yeah. You know who gets it really bad? Newfoundland. Like they get under snow. You can't even get into their houses and the cars are covered and they need stuff like that.
Yeah, it's sure they were like building tunnels into place. I was like,
Yes.
this is cool.
Yeah. Newfoundland's beautiful, but wow, their winters are brutal.
Now I kind of want to go there in the winter just to
That
see
doesn't
it.
sound appealing to me like at all.
The rock bell.
Not even a little bit.
No.
Do you ever see Ice Road Truckers? That show?
No.
No. Oh,
Is that what they do for like going around?
Like 18-wheelers driving over ice, literally ice, like frozen ponds. And they can only do it at certain times of the year because as soon as that thing defrosts, the truck will fall in and they'll die. So like it's the most dangerous trip to make. And there's a whole TV show of it.
Really? I
Yep.
gotta check that out.
Makes sense.
Gosh, I hope they get hazard pay.
Going up to Alaska.
Just
They
being
have so much money. That's why it's the only reason they do it.
oh, it's good money. Okay.
And they'll show, on the TV show, they'll show like overturned trucks that like went off a cliff and they're like, it's crazy.
Wow. I didn't even know about that profession till now. So, but being a truck driver here is rough, like on the highway, especially with one overturns. Wow. Yeah. Because the ice and how many other cars it impacts.
Yeah.
We could get our truck driver licenses during this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
where
can
were
barely
we?
drive.
Where were we on tour? We were just driving around the minivan, but it was like all the way up on high cliffs. I think it was in Colorado, maybe Utah. And I mean, the speed limits were like 80 or 90, which over in miles per hour.
Miles,
Not
yeah.
kilometers. Yeah, miles per hour. Which by us, they're like 55, 65, depending on where you are. And it all said stay in the right lane except for passing. And the right lane, there's no guardrail. You're going around these tiny like mountain roads and you look to the right of you and it's just a steep, like you're done. If you fall off that thing, goodbye.
Done.
Yikes.
And I was like, nope, I'm staying to the left. I don't care where they can give me a ticket. I'm staying on the left, hugging the mountain. I'm not going near that cliff. There were no guardrails.
Oh my goodness.
And of course, the truckers who are used to, driving those things every day, they're just zooming past you. And I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I
And
freak
you
out.
just going.
Beep.
You know what's really cool? Speaking of travel, though, another thing I found was virtualtrips.io. So you can go anywhere in the world, and the people are wearing gimbal cameras, and they're taking you on a tour of their city live. So people are really you get I've gone to Cape Town and Scotland and Oklahoma City. Yeah, it's really cool.
City's great.
No, it was. There was all these cool sculptures, and there's a lot of music too. Like watch me perform live in the streets of London, and you just pay by tip if you want, optional.
Oh,
Cool.
maybe
We
that's
should
what
do
I'll
that
be
when we
doing
go on
next
tour
time.
next.
Yeah, here's a tour of our minivan.
Yeah.
Any of you
I
are
want to
tour
go to
guides.
Cape Town. I want to go to Cape Town. That's where all the great whites are.
Yeah, and they did that. Then they went to the beaches down there. It was really cool, actually. Yeah,
I want to.
good idea though. And then you can travel the world from your living room.
Put on one of those the virtual reality glasses while you're watching it too.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I've
now
done
you
that
can do
before.
it you can do that on your phone now, where you just get a device, you stick your phone in it, and it makes it a virtual reality.
You just got to get the glasses, right, or whatever you call them, the goggles.
I don't think that it's just a goggle. You put your phone in it, and it just works. It's really insane.
Oh,
I don't even think
they're that.
they're not even that expensive anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to try one. Yeah, because I've done that once, and it's really freaky. And I was walking on the ocean floor, and you feel like you're gonna fall. Right? It's really neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd have to sit in the backseat of the car and just buckle myself in.
Yeah,
to make sure I didn't move because I just want to get up and start walking, and then I just bump into things and fall.
Yeah, you would need to be strapped in somewhere.
Yeah, I get too excited.
Yeah.
You need you're gonna need a bubble wrap around you just to make sure that not into anything.
And get somebody to videotape because it does look funny to the other people.
Yeah, when you see people that are just do this all the time, play video games and stuff, I'm like, this looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have these goggles on and you're just like, what?
I know. What are they fighting?
But then you got to stand in front of someone right when they take them off, so then you're like, oh.
I thought they'd be more popular by now. And the other thing people are doing is that, what's the thing where you do the karaoke and you can do it live with somebody? That I downloaded that app. It's on my phone.
Is it the TikTok?
No, you're actually singing with people. Smule, S-M-U-L-E.
Oh, yes. Yes. Heard of that.
I tried that. It's kind of fun, actually.
I didn't know you could sing with other people, too. I thought that was just like a karaoke singing like to the song by yourself.
No, you actually get invitations to collaborate, and then you can go right on with them. It's pretty neat. I've only done it alone, though. I keep getting invites. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I look goofy enough as it is.
I've heard of one called acapella, which instead of karaoke, it's just, you upload a video and someone else can upload, and then you can make a whole collaboration and have a song together.
Really?
But I don't think it's to a track. I guess you could do it to a track, but it's supposed to be original music.
So they add their own spin to it, or their own.
Yeah. So you put it up, and you could make it either open to collaboration, or I guess you could lock it if you want it only to be you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out. Acapella.
Yeah. Well, we got some people in the chat.
I was saying hey to everyone in the chat, and if
we have a Natalie in the chat. Hello, Natalie. She said virtual vacationing.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's all about that virtual vacation. Well, we were talking about that show. So, have you watched any binge watching of any TV shows?
Yes, I have, and I'm actually there's a lot of shows that Raphael never saw. So right now I'm in the process, for example, binge watching for me a second time, for him the first, Downton Abbey.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I never saw that.
I only saw a little bit of it, so I need to go back and rewatch the beginning and watch the whole thing again. If you like that one, have you seen Mr. Selfridge?
Yes, I love Mr. Selfridge. I was trying to remember. I'm going to get him to watch that too. Thank you for reminding me now.
And then when I went to England, I went to the Selfridges, and I was like, I'm here. I'm in the TV show.
I think I like that as much or more than Downton, because it just seemed like it's less hokey, Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's a good. I'm a TV person. I like movies and TV.
Mm-hmm.
So does Raphael. So that's good. So yeah, and I don't know, other big shows. Anything like there's some you're waiting for to come out the next season. The Fosters we watched because he hadn't seen that. I don't know if you know that, because his sister-in-law, cousin-in-law is in that.
Cool.
Yeah, but we're looking for ideas though. We're kind of
I'm very much into crime dramas and like any superhero, like Marvel, DC shows, all those.
Okay, and what's the one with the woman? She's kind of tough. There was the one.
Wonder Woman?
No, she's dark.
Captain Marvel.
Is it Captain
Marvel? Or the Scarlet Witch?
No.
Maybe they
She's very strong. She's super strong. She's got dark hair. She's kind of.
Is it?
It was a TV show about a superhero, but she's not. And she knows the martial arts, and she lives in New York City. She's kind of downtrodden.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, is that Marvel? No.
Yes, that's my
I like that one a lot.
Daredevil series, I think. Yeah, on Netflix. Yeah.
Did you see it?
I didn't see that one. I watched all like the CW shows like Arrow and Supergirl and.
Okay. Try Jessica Jones, because it's dark, but it's really good. It's well done.
Yeah, I did start it. It is very dark though, but. Yeah.
Like we saw Grimm, and then the other one is what's the one based about Superman in New York City? Gotham.
Oh yeah, Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham. Watched all of that.
Yeah, it got weird a little bit at some point, but then, they ended it pretty well.
Is it over? Because I thought it just ended kind of mid nothing. Okay.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, they ended that maybe like 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Now that everything's on streaming services, I don't really know when anything came out. Right. Unless you go back and look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you're like,
Netflix
I watched
Prime.
5 seasons. Is this like over? And you're like, oh man, they're done with this show. And you're like, or sometimes you'll find one that you're like, oh, they're gonna have another one. Great.
Ozark, that's the one. I thought they're supposed to come. We're waiting for that to come out.
Ozark's good. Yeah. I didn't watch the last episode of the second season for some reason. I just stopped watching.
Oh no! Okay, well,
so
and I
think
I won't tell you what happened. I thought my parents, for example, had watched all of Downton Abbey, so I gave something big away last night. My mom's like, oops. Careful.
Now, with that one, there's a movie and a TV show, right?
There was one movie, I haven't seen the movie yet, which is kind of nice, so we can at least both watch that together for the first time.
Cool. There's also, I've been seeing commercials for The Nevers on HBO, but I have to get HBO so I can see it.
Oh, The Nevers, I haven't heard of that.
It's supposed to be some, like, mystical thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I like some of those things. Like The Problem with Witches, or what's the one that's the witch's name in it? The Discovery of Witches.
Ooh.
That was pretty cool. First season I really liked. Second season I'm more iffy on.
What's that one on?
I don't know.
Is that a Netflix thing?
Yeah. I think it's Netflix. Is it Netflix or Prime? I don't know. It might be different kind of networks for you guys.
Is it real, or is it a documentary, or is it?
No, it's a TV show. It's good. Okay. You'll get into it.
History of Witches?
A Discovery of Witches.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
I got my show list going on.
Yeah, I'm a big Law and Order SVU fan, so I've been very excited that Elliot Stabler has come back into the mix, and he has the new TV show Organized Crime. But when you were talking about Gotham, so many of those actors came from SVU.
Really?
And I was like, oh, they were on SVU. Oh, they were on SVU.
Yes, and the main guy, you know what? He went into my favorite cop show of all time, which is Southland.
Okay, I haven't checked that one out.
Yeah, you got to see Southland. It ran for 5 seasons, then it got canceled, and all the fans went nuts. So like, what? This is a great show.
I'm obsessed with NCIS.
Oh yeah, okay.
I've been doing a lot of that.
There's a lot of seasons of that, right?
Oh, there's so many seasons, and then now I'm into the New Orleans one, and then when I'm done with that, I'm gonna go with the LA one.
Is there any same characters, or they're all different, right?
Well, they kind of intertwine, because what happens is they have one in DC, one in New Orleans, and one in LA. But every once in a while, they'll be working on a case, and they'll like video chat with each other, or they'll fly to the other city and they cross over. Yeah, and they'll work together with the other team.
I love TV show crossovers. It's like the best.
You got to do one in I think they film some of those in Canada, don't they? They say they're in the U.S. Yeah. It's cheaper to film shows and movies. It used to be, anyways, up here. For
most of the CW shows, I think, like Supernatural, I just finished. They filmed in Canada.
Probably Vancouver.
Yeah, I think they're all in. Arrow, Supergirl, The Flash. I think they're all in Canada.
Yeah, because I visited some studios when I had the premiere in LA, and they were saying there's not a lot going on here because everything's gone to Canada. Good return for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what's your hope for when things open back up? What's like the first place you want to gig?
Well, I'd like to rehearse with my band again, because we were called Retros, and we kind of just got going like last year, and we didn't get a chance to gig at all yet. So I was going to do a big outdoor gig on stage at a Legion up the road. I'm kind of in the country. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just invite friends and family out to that. That's my first plan.
Nice. Yeah. It's a good solid plan. It's outside. You have space. Everyone can just
lots of room for activities.
Be low key. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's a good plan.
Nice. Oh, we have Natalie says, Once Upon a Time, 7 seasons on Disney. It's good.
Ooh, okay. I've seen Once Upon a Time. The first couple seasons, really good.
Yeah. All right. Adding it to the list.
And you like Disney, so that's good for your list.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Disney movie out about a jazz fellow. Supposed to be really good, but it's
Soul?
Cartoon, right?
Soul, have you seen it?
It was good. It was really good. I saw it twice already.
But it's hard to rent. Up here, it's $20. It's like, buy it for $20. Why?
Wow, really?
So weird. Yeah.
Even if you have Disney Plus?
No, I don't have Disney Plus.
I saw it on there.
Yeah. iTunes.
It's cheaper to just get that for the month. You can watch everything and then just cancel it after.
That's true. Oh yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
And you just use different emails too every month
get a free trial and just keep it.
Yes, you know when to cancel those things. Yeah, I've just got a trial 2 weeks for something, and I'm going to cancel to play music. You play along the scrolling charts kind of thing. Yep. Yeah.
Got to cancel. I have to put on my calendar. Cancel all these.
I do. I have so many notes in my phone calendar that's like, cancel this before tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cancel trials.
Okay. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. That's a good. Gotta do it. They
Yeah.
getcha. They getcha.
Yeah, there was some movie. I think it was like Rayon or Ray or something with the dragon on Disney Plus, and I heard it was a total flop because even if you had Disney Plus, you still had to pay 20. It was either $20 or $30 to watch it. So no one did,
Really?
and it was a total bust.
I think they tried to do that with Mulan too
Yeah,
when it first came out.
Wow.
like
They're like, oh, instead of the movie, just pay $20 to see it on here.
like it's one thing if you're paying that much to have the experience to go to the movie theater and like you're going, with some friends or on a date or something. But if you're just sitting on your couch, why are you going to pay $30 to watch this one movie when you could watch a million others already being paid for in your streaming service?
I mean, when Black
Exactly.
Widow comes out, if Disney's going to charge me $20 to watch it, I'm going to pay it to watch it immediately.
Is that a movie?
The Black Widow, yeah, she's a
One of the
Marvel
comics?
superhero. So
Who's playing the Black Widow?
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. 'Cause she's
Yeah,
been,
she's been
okay.
yeah,
She's cool.
yeah. It's a I think it's a prequel, so it's like about how she started and
Ooh, I
stuff.
like those.
Oh, that'll move.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which
What
it
about
was
Wonder
supposed to
Woman?
be- yeah. Oh, did you
Love
see
Wonder Woman.
1984?
I didn't like it so much.
I-
Did you?
The second time I watched it, I liked it a little better.
Mm.
But I hate that I couldn't see it in a theater because clearly it was supposed to be like
Yes,
I
I think
think
that
that
was-
did ruin the experience not seeing like a big movie like that in the theater. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a bit of a letdown. Yeah. But it
Mhm.
was okay. I mean, it was good. And she's a good character. It was interesting.
Yeah.
But I just like when they're on the island. I like that whole history of how she
Oh, yeah.
came to be.
Mhm.
Maybe you can watch the movie in the virtual reality glasses,
Yeah,
and then you'll feel like you're really like better than
There.
the movie theater. You'll be there.
Yes.
exactly.
You'll be in the
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah.
Robin Wright's cool. She's in that briefly, though.
See, I
I
need
wish-
to start with all those superhero movies, but I don't even know where to start. There's so many, and there's so
Well,
many different like.
Well, on Disney Plus, they have them in
Mm.
order of how you should watch them now.
Oh,
But aren't there different orders? Isn't there like the chronological
There
order,
is.
and
I
then
can-
there's
I
like
can
release
send-
order?
I think you should watch. There is a time chronological, like how each movie like based in their times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I rewatched it in the beginning of quarantine.
I remember you doing that. Yeah.
So I'll send you that link of how to watch it. I think it's like you have to watch Captain America first because it's
Ah.
based
Which is
in
good.
World War II. And then like Captain Marvel because that's the 90s, even though that's like one of the most recent came out. So I'll send you the legit chronological order.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that's chronological order in our world,
yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah.
But now that's all Marvel?
That's all Marvel.
And then
yeah.
what about DC? Is there an order for that, or is that just whatever order?
Not really, because they're all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah. DC kind of like, they're all over the place with their movies haven't really synced up like Marvel does. Like Marvel's such like all of their movies in those 10 years, they've like the masterminds behind that, they've all like intertwined throughout these years. And you're like, did they think of this 10 years ago when Iron Man's put like a sneak peek into Captain America, which came out like 5 years later? No, they did. They're just masterminds behind this,
Wow.
So DC, you just pick a character and just watch all the movies for that character and move on to the next character?
I
Like
guess
who?
so.
Like who, for example?
What do you
Who's a DC character?
like-
I don't even know
Batman.
who's who.
But like Batman, I guess you'd watch all the ones with, like Christian Bale. You just watch those like 3 movies in order. But then
Okay.
like that's it for those,
Right.
And then like Wonder Woman, you just watch those 2. But you can watch Justice League as well. But it's not really in an order for those.
Okay.
But now there's a 4-hour Justice League movie out, so there's that.
Wow, he makes EP. Wow.
Yeah, they re-released it.
Yeah, I
That's a
didn't love that
4-hour
one.
Yeah, because the first one didn't go over so well, so they re-edited it during like
Oh.
2020, and they're like, we're
Okay.
just gonna give you 4 hours of it.
Oh, we have
Cool.
some comments in the chat confirming DC is all over the place, very random.
Yes. Yep. Or maybe I'll post the link in the chat for the chronological Marvel order.
Oh, that's a good
So that
idea.
anyone,
I've learned something now. I didn't know they were there. Yeah, that's great that Disney Plus helps you, guides you, because there's so many, you could just get lost.
yeah. But if you do go by the Disney one, it's still like they'll give you the order of like, I think they might actually have it. They have the options of which way to watch them now.
Nice.
They have like phase 1, phase 2, so. All right, is this the right one? You gotta make sure it is the right.
Grumpy says the slow motion fight scenes account for about an hour of those 4 hours.
I was just like, as long as I could get more Wonder Woman, I'm totally good with this.
Yeah.
And the Amazons. I wish they could just make a whole Amazon movie.
That is, yes, that's what I say. That's the best part.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's in the chat for anyone how to watch the Marvel movies in order.
Awesome.
You've heard it here. I did not write that link, but it's. And oh wait, what was in? If the Hulk's in there, don't watch the Hulk.
Really?
Yeah,
I have to. I can't watch like a whole series and leave out one part. It's just like
but
I'm too OCD for that.
Yeah, but it's not part of it. They
Oh.
put it in there, I think, to be nice, but the guy playing the Hulk in that movie is not the guy that is actually the Hulk in all the other series.
Oh.
So that's like the one movie that you just don't need.
It's the Canadian guy, right? Dark-haired. What's his name? Yeah,
I think so. But he got fired, so they just they replaced him with Mark Ruffalo. So.
Why do you get
Mark
fired?
Ruffalo's who I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he big dealed people, and they were like, "We'll just replace you."
Hmm.
That's what I think. That's from what I remember. That movie's from I don't know when. That's the only information I know, which could be wrong. I think it was like, you can't replace me on the Hulk, and they're like, well, yeah, we can. We can totally replace you.
We'll paint someone else green, and they.
Yeah.
There, yeah. They're not gonna know.
Most of your part is CGI, so.
All you have to do is you don't have to show the face. You just show the back of the Hulk, and you know who it is. So you don't even need a face.
We are going to wrap this up in a minute, but we do want to make sure you plug all of your things again for anyone tuning in. So, is there any new projects and stuff like that you want everyone to check out?
Keep checking out Beatkeepers, the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. I will keep posting videos of interviews with female drummers and other musicians and videos. And if you're interested in being profiled, get in touch with me, because I'm always looking to meet new people. Absolutely.
I was pointing at
reviews.
Mel?
Yes. And watch for Mel's upcoming profile. Yay, for sure. Definitely. I'd love to do that. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on here. This has been a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. And we do this every chat. We're going to put you on the spot right now. Can you tell everyone who's listening some way to stay positive in these crazy times? What is your advice?
My advice, figure out one thing you always wanted to do, learn or improve, and focus on that, whether it's a drum technique or a new song or a hobby you've always wanted to explore. Just go for it. You got the time, and yeah, you'll come out of this with new knowledge, new skill, something you love.
That's great advice.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Talking to you. And stay safe, stay happy, stay well. And thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us. And happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Hopefully
Bye,
we see you.
Bye, Annie.
Hopefully
Bye,
we
everyone.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Yes. Bye.